So Guardians of the Galaxy looks pretty damn awesome, huh? Told you so. Apparently that's what happens when you give the Trauma alumni who made Super, Slither, and The Specials, and the 2 Scooby-Doo movies, but oh well, somewhere upwards of $100 million in Disney's money to make a 21st century version of the Ice Pirates. You know the trailer for one of these is working because its debut is immediately followed by people saying, I don't know this comic very well, but this looks good. Let me let you in on a little secret, folks. Nobody knows this comic very well. Even I have to Google half this shit. The original 70s and 80s Guardians of the Galaxy was an obscure, intermittently popular series set not only in deep space but in the far future of the Marvel Universe, and the more recent incarnation the film is based on is more or less a hub for all the cosmic outer space stuff left floating in the Marvel Universe by Jack Kirby, Jim Starlin, etc., that writers love to play with but seldom sustains its own book today. The essential experiment of the film seems to be, if we stack enough obscurity on top of one another, will it add up to a mainstream hit? So whether your reaction was, what the f*** was that? Or, hey, that looks awesome, but what the f*** was that? Let's pull up my new toy here and see what this is all about. Okay, this thing here is probably one of the 6 Infinity Stones, first confirmed to exist in Thor: The Dark World. They are components of the Infinity Gauntlet, the all-powerful weapon wielded by Thanos, the purple guy from the end of the Avengers.
Drop it! Now!
Yeah, hey, cool man. No problem at all.
Who are you?
One thing you'll need to get used to for this franchise, lots of people whose middle name is The. Case in point, this is Jaimin Hansu as Korath the Pursuer, genetically engineered soldier of the Kree Empire.
Star-Lord.
Who?
Star-Lord, real name Peter Quill, is in the comics a NASA astronaut given the mantle of the Star-Lord by an alien called the Master of the Sun. But there's stuff in this trailer that leads me to think his backstory has been reimagined to incorporate aspects of Vance Astro, aka Major Victory, who was the leader of the original 70s version of the Guardians. We'll come back to that.
Well, Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw? Forget it.
These 2 guys serving as Korath's backup are apparently Sakarans. That's interesting because the main Marvel significance of Planet Sakaar is that it's where the excellent mega-series Planet Hulk takes place.
We arrested these 5 on Xandar. Check out the rap sheet.
Hey, it's Dr. Steve Brule! These guys' uniforms identify them as members of the Nova Corps, some of whom are like Marvel's answer to the Green Lantern Corps, while others are just regular space cops. They draw rank-appropriate powers augmented by special suits from the Nova Force and are primarily charged to defend the interests of planet Xandar. This stuff is fun to say.
Drax, aka the Destroyer.
David Bautista as Drax the Destroyer. Really excited about this guy. Bautista has yet to be in a good movie, but he has the best screen presence, though in a completely different way, of any professional wrestler since The Rock. In the comics, Drax is a human named Arthur Douglas whose family is killed by Thanos and who gets powered up by the alien being Kronos. I'm going to bet that origin will be simplified a bit for the movie, though I wonder if we'll hear about his daughter Heather, aka Moondragon.
Gamora, soldier, assassin.
Zoe Saldana as Gamora, the last survivor of the massacred Zenhuberi race. She's adopted as a daughter and personal assassin by Thanos, but eventually turns against him. She goes back and forth between good and evil throughout the comics.
Wanted on over 50 charges of vehicular theft and escape from lockup.
Rocket Raccoon, and no, they aren't joking. Of note, his rap sheet here identifies one of his associates as Lila. Lila is Rocket's girlfriend. She is an otter. This is going to be a good movie.
What the hell?
Groot. He's been traveling recently as Rocket's personal houseplant / muscle.
Groot is a tree person. He can only say 3 words. I am Groot. In the film, those 3 words will be said by Vin Diesel.
Peter Jason Quill. He's also known as Star-Lord.
Who calls him that?
Himself, mostly. He's wanted largely on charges of minor assault, public intoxication, and fraud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
One of Star-Lord's associates is listed as Yondu. He's not seen in the trailer, but Michael Rooker is playing him in the movie. He's blue, and he has a big red thing on his head.
Hey, that's mine.
Descriptions of the film have said Quill is spirited away from Earth into deep space in the 1980s as a small child, which might explain why he's so protective of that 80s-era Walkman with the classic rock track. That's pretty different from the Peter Quill of the comics, but it's slightly similar to Vance Astro of the original Guardians, who was also a man unstuck in time. Yes, he is holding Captain America's shield in some of these images, and yes, that's a long story.
Take those headphones off right now!
Star-Lord's ship, the Milano. Milano. Break out the Barbasol cosplayers, that's Karen Gillan as Nebula, a space pirate who may or may not be Thanos' granddaughter. Gamora's sword, seen here, is called the Godslayer, because that's basically what it's for. It's blink and you'll miss it, but the dude lifting up Drax is holding a tool called the Universal Weapon, which identifies him as Ronan the Accuser, a Kree military judge charged with meting out justice but who usually has his own corrupt agenda as well. Supposedly, he is our main on-the-ground bad guy for this movie. Benicio del Toro as Tanalir Tivan, the Collector. If you stayed through the credits of Thor: The Dark World, you've already met him.
They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Finally, John C. Reilly is actually playing a specific Nova Corps Centurion here, Roman Day. Importantly, Day is the guy who eventually gives Nova Force powers to Richard Rider, making him the first Nova Corps member from Earth and Marvel's original Nova. And alright, that's what we've got of that so far. Movie comes out in August, so I bet we'll get a couple more of these. It's gonna be an interesting year. I'm Bob, and that's the big picture.